Hello and welcome back to the Jeffrey Breedwell audiocast. Today I am launching off the first of the ancient blogs. I say ancient, but it's really like back from May of 2025. But it was when I launched my website. So I tried to, get some of the goodness and the blogs and the top 5 type of things. Try to get them all back down. And that's what we have today. That's what we have. It's the 5 of the best absurd sci-fi stories in books, movies, and television. And without further ado, I will let you know where it is. It's going to be jeffreybreedwell.com/blog, all the way down at the bottom. Again, that's Jeffrey Breedwell, Geoffrey, Breedwell, just like I would, breedwell.com/blog. Is where you can find a lot of these older blogs. And when we switch over to the Substack, I will let you know where to go. The Substack, speaking of which, is going to be the best place for you to subscribe and to get these in the mailbox of your choice. You can also find this if you're listening on Spotify. You can also follow the podcast and rate it and say, hey, this is fantastic. I love the fact that it's just his voice and nothing else, because why do I need anything else? I just have his voice. Yeah, okay. Anyway, without any further ado, here we go. 5 of the best absurd sci-fi stories right here from May. So dudes, dudettes, and non-binary dudes, lend me your ears. No, not your actual ears, but I appreciate the gesture. Absurdity is a wide genre of comedy that encapsulates comedy at its finest. From the slapstick absurdity of the Three Stooges to the intellectual absurdity of Monty Python and the quick absurdity of most improv shows, comedy is absurdity at its core. It takes the premise of a serious situation and takes it up to 11. Every comedy writer knows how to take something bland and make it absurd. And today, I'm taking a look at some of the 5 most absurd sci-fi stories in books, movies, and television and streaming. And I'm going to provide the link to the blog in the show notes, but it's where you can find and purchase the book as well as the IMDb of the movie or the television show. Now, there are some clarifications to this list. I'm not looking at parodies, such as Spaceballs, and I'm looking for things that are specifically within the sci-fi genre. If it's fantasy, such as Monty Python and the Holy Grail or Robin Hood Men in Tights, you're not going to find them on this list. Each one of these has been successful within its category as well, whether book, movie, or television. Sadly, this eliminates the 1990s B-movie classic Mom and Dad Save the World, which is a gem of an absurd B-movie if you ever see it. Fun fact, Jon Lovitz kills it in this movie. Without any further ado, here we go. Number 5, Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. It's now on sale wherever you find books. So one of Kurt Vonnegut's most famous books, Slaughterhouse-Five, is so absurd that it's a banned book in most schools. The alternate title, The Children's Crusade, A Duty Dance with Death, only adds into the book's absurdity. It follows Billy Pilgrim as he becomes, quote-unquote, unstuck in time and travels through his life, including his captivity on a distant planet and the firebombing of Dresden. It's non-linear, disorienting, and it explores the horrors of war. Vonnegut shares this horror from personal experience, as he was an American soldier from Indiana during World War II who was captured by the Germans at the Battle of the Bulge. The dark humor that rises from the trauma in this book, from its irony and repeated phrases, earns its place at number 5. It's not just because the title matches. No. That'd be too obvious. Number 4, The Simpsons. Started on broadcast television in 1989, this family of yellow-skinned cartoon absurdity is the brainchild of Matt Groening. Over the 36 seasons they've been on the air, The Simpsons have covered every sort of comedy and cartoon known to man. They've specifically covered science fiction in their comedic voice in classic episodes such as Treehouse of Horror 6 and the subsequent Treehouse of Horror specials, as well as the classic episode The Springfield Files, which parodies the X-Files. They usually keep the science fiction resolved to the Treehouse of Horror specials, making each one their take on a popular science fiction trope. It earns its spot at number 4, while also making note of future predictions in its regular episodes. There's even a conspiracy theory that Matt Groening is a time traveler. Number 3. Guardians of the Galaxy. The brainchild of Roy Thomas, Stan Lee, and Arnold Drake, the Guardians of the Galaxy first appeared in 1969, and then again in 1974, only to get their solo title in June of 1990. Since then, there have been more team member changes than issues, with characters like Nova, Hulkling, Wiccan, Agent Venom, Hollywood, and even Doctor Doom himself. The MCU roster has seen its fair share of changes as well, but not just the talent changes that make this particular property stand out. It's the irreverent comedy that breathes from the characters' dialogue and their situations. It's the absurd heists and battles they face that put them in the 3rd spot on this list. Sean Gunn's movies are an excellent example of this team, and they're worth binge-watching by themselves. Number 2. Dude, Where's My Car? The story of Jesse and Chester, played by Ashton Kutcher and Seann William Scott, respectively, as two stoners who forget where they parked, and when retracing their steps, they discover an intergalactic mystery that could obliterate the planet. It's a classic, irreverent stoner movie of the turn of the millennium that cranks up the absurdity as the movie goes along. From a fridge full of snack pack pudding to lesbian strippers, the movie ventures into sci-fi territory when it ups the stakes by the appearance of 2 Nordic alien twins and literally 5 hot chicks, aliens, who race to find the, quote, continuum transfunctioner, last seen with Jesse and Chester. The movie was a box office success and influenced pop culture for the bulk of the early 2000s, with references made in TV series as late as 2023. And then it became number 2 on the list. Zoltan! Number 1, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. This title spans the test of time, and it influences pop culture and nerd culture to this day. Often cited as the cream of the crop in sci-fi comedy, this book by Douglas Adams follows the last surviving Earthling, Arthur Dent, through the galaxy after Earth is destroyed for a hyperspace bypass. The story was originally a BBC radio sitcom between 1978 and 1980, before being adapted into 6 novels, comic books, a BBC series in 1981, video games, stage shows, and even a 2005 feature film of the same name. It's been translated into over 30 languages, and it continues to find new readers every year. It's the top spot because it's so influential, successful, and quotable. It set the standard for absurd, silly, just to be silly science fiction, which many writers continue to follow. Well, that's the list. And while I couldn't cover every absurd sci-fi in this, you're welcome to list your favorites in the comments, and I would love to hear what you think. By the way, fun fact, just because you got to the end of this, my upcoming book, Just Put the VHS in the Bag, Bro, is a combination of Dude, Where's My Car? And Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So it's a fun, irreverent, and absurd sci-fi comedy that comes out this summer from Cloaked Press. So I hope you enjoyed it. So long, and thanks for all the fish. With all my heart, Jeffrey. And that does it for the blog. Again, make sure you like and subscribe, and please rate the show if you are on Spotify, and like and subscribe if you are on Substack. That is the show. Tune in next week where I'm going to have yet another blog right here for you in your inbox. Have a great time. Catch you next time.